What's going on, guys? I'm coming to you from my shady and dimly lit apartment to talk some shit today. What are you talking shit about, Danny? Well, the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons, that's what. Now, in my personal opinion, I consider the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons to be among some of the worst gaming controllers ever. And being that they come from Nintendo, a company known for top quality hardware, I would argue that they are bar none the worst Nintendo controllers of all time. In fact, a whole term has been coined, Nintendium, to describe the long-lasting durability and reliability of first-party Nintendo products. But apparently they ran out of the stuff when they made these fucking things. Now, so far, a majority of the internet knows about their drift problem with the control sticks. And while some of mine have had that problem, some of them have had worse problems. So I'm going to go over my Switch controllers, and because this is partially a collection video, I'm going to start with my non-Joy-Con controllers. Okay, so to start off with, these are my regular controllers. This is the Super Mario Bros. 3 controller from PowerA. Third party, I know, but this is honestly one of my favorite controllers of all time for any system. It feels really nice, it looks awesome, there's no drift, there's no stupid shit going on here. It even has these buttons in the back to let you reprogram the layouts on the fly. The only drawback to this controller is that there is no rumble feature. But honestly, that doesn't even kill it for me, just because it's such a good controller on a system with, let's face it, otherwise very fucking shitty controllers. But I'll get to that. This is my USB GameCube controller, Pikachu edition, because, well, nothing else was really available. Gaming is not big in my area, so there's very slim pickings. And this is, sadly, the wired one. I wanted the wireless ones that they do make, but for whatever reason, for a long time, both my local GameStop and my local Walmart did not carry them, so all you could get were these wired ones. Now see, with the wired controllers such as this, well, you have to awkwardly plug them into the side of your Switch dock. And the thing about the Switch dock, especially when the Switch itself is inside it, is that the thing is very both light as an object and top-heavy as it sits there. So it's very easy for anyone or anything to come across this wire and whip your whole fucking Switch dock with your Switch onto the floor. In fact, it happened at my former apartment 2 or 3 times because my roommate's dog kept walking across it and would pull the whole thing onto the floor, to the point where I just stopped using it. Even now, I don't really use it unless I have to. Even though I live alone now, I still don't use it because I don't trust myself, because I'm a drunk. But by far, my favorite thing about the GameCube-styled controllers for the Nintendo Switch is that you can use them for any game. Not like with the Wii U, where you had to buy this stupid hard-to-find adapter, and even then, it only worked with goddamn Super Smash Bros. But they actually got it right on the Switch, and you can use these for anything. This one specifically, I noticed it works very well for Super Mario Odyssey and like Breath of the Wild and stuff like that. But again, its main drawback is the stupid wire, because I couldn't find the wireless ones at the time. And now on to the main event, the real shitstorm, the Joy-Cons themselves. Okay, for better or worse, here we are at dem boys. First, let's get to the grips over here. Both of these, even though one has a Zelda skin, are just the standard grips. And this one, Zombie Hand one, is a charge grip, which should have been the standard one, Nintendo. But whatever, that's besides the point. We're talking about these shitful fucking things. Let's start with my original black launch day Switch Joy-Cons, and you may notice that the right one isn't here. I will explain why in a second. But before I do that, these black ones, for the longest time, were my best ones. My right one was damaged because a friend of mine, while they were in a grip, dropped them off a high table onto a hardwood floor, and the right one just straight up stopped working. But luckily, I possess one of those 3-pronged Nintendo screwdrivers. I should have grabbed it for the video. It's far the fuck away in a drawer somewhere. And I took it apart, and I noticed that the part where the battery plugs into like the motherboard was disconnected, and I fixed it, and it stayed fixed for years and years and years, even outlasting my newer sets of Joy-Cons. But we'll come back to that in a second. This was my second set because I wanted a complete Player 2 experience, my neon yellow ones. And oh my god, these both drift like a motherfucker. Like, you go into any game with these, they're automatically just all the way to the right. Like, and no matter, you taking them apart, fucking with them, anything has not fixed them. These are just drifted out the fucking ass. And then we come to my red and blue, which are from my second Switch, because my original launch day Switch itself actually bricked, which that's a whole nother story. I think I actually did a video on it in the past, I don't remember. But the controllers from my second Switch were fine for a while. In fact, this red one, to this day, along with my left launch day one, are the only ones that have yet to have any problems, knock on wood. So they're the ones that I use on my Switch itself. As you can see, when they're actually on my Switch, they look really mismatched and stupid, but hey, it is what it is. But this blue Joy-Con has charging issues like I cannot even believe, to the point where I don't even try to use it anymore. And it's not the same as my right black Joy-Con that fell off the table and the thing got disconnected. No, I took this one apart and everything was connected, everything was fine. But for some reason, this fucking thing, number one, loses charge super rapidly. This will lose its charge completely in like 20 minutes. It won't charge at all when it's on the system in the dock. And sometimes when it is fully charged, I'll look at the battery readout in the menus and it'll say that it's almost dead. And check this out. To get it to charge it, number one, you have to use the charge grip. And number two, you can't, hear that snap when they're in the grip all the way? No. It will not charge when it's like that. You have to let it up like yay so much, so it's just barely in the plug. That is the only way this fucking thing will charge. But now, it's time to talk about what very recently, this week, happened to my right black Joy-Con. So I was sitting here, and I'm playing my PS4. You know, jamming out, I don't know what I was playing, Red Dead 2 or something, and I notice, underneath my TV, that the light on my Switch dock is on. And I said, let me see what's up with that. So I take out my Switch, and I realize, number one, the thing is hotter than the goddamn sun, and number two, it's doing, well, this. Okay, so my Switch is going fucking crazy. I'm not touching any buttons. I'm not touching the system. And it is wigging the fuck out. So, and I can't even turn it the fuck off. So if anyone has a Switch that is alive... And after some troubleshooting, I came to the realization that it was my right black launch day Joy-Con sending out these erratic signals at random. And there's only one thing I know to do to really stop something from sending signals, short of smashing the motherfucker to pieces. Okay, so an update. Nothing was wrong with my Switch. It was my right Joy-Con going fucking ballistic! So guess what? I had to stick it in a microwave, which acts as a Faraday cage, to keep it from turning my system on and making it go fucking crazy. Like, dude, what? What? And guess what, you guys? It's still fucking in there. Now, the next gen Switch Pro is right around the corner, and depending on how long I procrastinate, hell, it might be announced before this video is even put on YouTube. What can I say? I'm a fuck up. But I think when it comes to Joy-Cons with the next generation, I think Nintendo really only has two options. Option one is just make better Joy-Cons, which, personally, I doubt they're gonna fucking do. Option number two, and what I feel they should do, is have the Joy-Cons integrated onto the system like the Switch Lite, and just have it capable of going in a dock, and just provide, you know, the next generation Switch Pro controller in the box. Like, dude, I don't care. If you had to charge me an extra $50, I don't care. Just do it, please. Just give me a regular fucking controller. So yeah, that was kind of a short and kind of pointless video, but I just moved into a new place, and I'm working full-time plus overtime, and I'm really just burnt out, and I don't have the motivation. But I'm hoping that I will be doing more videos in the future. And I know every time I say that, it's like a fucking another year before I do a video. It's like I'm some fucking white trash poor version of JonTron with that shit. But it is what it is. Fuck the Joy-Cons. See y'all around.